Dabbler.
Back again.
We are.
The bike end of the workshop.
At the bike bit. So it's going today. I can't remember how much I tried to catch or didn't catch, but basically I think we had the swing arm and everything on, switch gears and all that. So we've dropped the engine on, I've put the throttle bodies in, and we've sat the loom in basically. That's what we've sort of done. So I'm just going to put some oil in it. And then while I've got no fuel tank on it, crank it over to try and get oil pressure up and make sure the oil light goes out the dash. And then we put the airbox on, sit the tank on top, chuck some fuel in it, and see if she'll start.
Let's do it.
So that is the plan. But first off, some golden juice.
There we go.
So just takes for it. Just have to make sure it doesn't start dripping out the bottom, Dav, alright?
I'll keep an eye out for that. Don't want to get a soggy foot.
So we'll have to crank it over because it's obviously fresh build off PCR.
Yep.
So it's brand new engine build.
Josh probably looking forward to getting.
I think so.
On this.
I think so.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't like it, I'll have it.
There you go.
I think if you go around the other side,
Yeah.
there's a viewing window for the oil. Down on the bottom of the engine, it's like a glass window.
It's my knees. Sorry.
Clicky knees.
It's exciting.
Is it filling the hole?
No.
Oh. God, how much do they take?
Nothing happening yet. Oh, the suspense is killing me now.
Is it seriously?
Hang on. There we go.
You've got oil in you. So should get to about halfway.
Alright, it's gone more now.
Yeah, so
It's
that's 4 litres in.
It's going right up.
Roll it up. Right, so I've got no fuel tank. I have got, I'll plug the quick shifter in so I don't get a warning. Although I haven't got any upper injectors on it anyway. Oil pressure switch is plugged in. So if I put the power toggle on,
Yeah.
so we've got dash on, we're in neutral, I shouldn't start, run switches on, let's see what it does. Right, so have I sucked a load of oil out that window? Nope.
Nope.
Make sure start motor's not getting too hot. So it's got to fill the oil cooler first.
Yeah.
With the oil cooler up at the front of the engine, so it's filled the filter, filled the oil cooler up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just need to
Oops. Try not to trip over.
make sure we've got enough fluid in the engine. So that's a complete 4 in. I imagine we're banging another half in. I don't know why they put a sight glass on the other side.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Right. Let's move that out of the way, see what we can see here.
Right.
Yep.
Whereabouts is it?
It's about halfway now.
It is halfway, is it?
Yep. Just under, I'd say.
Right. So let's do the same again. Right, I think, mate, if we pop the airbox on,
yeah,
the upper injectors on, and the tank, we can see if she'll blow pops and bangs. We'll make sure we plug in the throttle stack. So that's the motor for the stacks.
yeah.
Tuck that down in there. And then the throttle bodies. Pop on like that. Just pop that front holder in. Oh, Davla, what did I do? Alright. That's it. So we should have one. Two. Yes, this is off to dyno tomorrow. It's just gone up to Paul's. So they're going to map it tomorrow.
Good stuff.
So we just get everything back on and together, basically. Let's just lift those up.
So it's good to see this finally starting to come together.
Yeah, well,
It's been a... I guess
we
it's been a
look
slow
back-
burner in a way, hasn't it? But it's had to fit in with everything else.
yeah, it's had to fit in, but we've had to deal with a couple of bits and pieces that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
So obviously things like we obviously had to sort of frame, then we had to wait for parts here and there.
Yeah.
Then we sort of had a setback where we thought the stock on the 2CR you can use the road ECU with a kit loom.
Yeah.
So that's what we'd planned on. And then what it turns out is on these later ones you can't do that. It causes all sorts of problems. So then we had to go and buy a kit loom.
Yeah.
Then obviously a little wait for the engine because it just happened to fall when the superbike season was starting.
Yeah.
So there's obviously priorities there. And then ultimately, mate, it's got to be paid for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so, you know. Right. I would have thought that would have cycled up and down.
There we go.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Right. So let's turn that back off. Perfect. I want. Oh, Rick. Air filter. Like so. Stacks are on, throttles are clean. Upper airbox can go on with injectors. That then plugs into, that's the sub loom here, and that plugs into, this connects it down here.
Yep.
Like so. What is stopping that pop together then? There we go. Right, so. Loose.
So what sort of power do these make then, or what would you expect from this?
On this engine, this should do 210.
Okay.
Yeah. This has got some PCR trickery as well,
Nice.
so it's not a stocker. So yeah, this should, the new ones make more power anyway, so I had a 2CR, I had a 2016.
Yeah.
So they do make good power. Mine was 194, but these are another step on now as well. So
Yeah, it's going to be good fun.
you better not complain about it, that's for bloody sure. I got a funny feeling this would be the best sort of big bike he's ridden.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the stuff we've done to it. This thing's trick, mate.
What do you think what state it was in when you first got it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you'd never believe it, would you? Considering this was a absolute heap.
I remember when you were washing it when it first arrived. It was just...
Yeah, we might have to put some pictures up of that.
Yeah.
Alright, let's clip that wiring loom down.
So when do you think the first test ride will be on this?
Well, he's racing Coombe with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
when's that?
So, 20 last weekend.
Right. So soon.
Yeah.
Nothing like a deadline, eh?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, because there's some big names coming to that as well. Charlie Nesbitt is there. Leon Haslam.
Yeah.
TJ Toms. Me, George, Max, Josh. Yeah, should be interesting, mate. Some fast boys going. So, right.
Lubing.
I am. So, just fuel hose. Just make sure you don't bind the O-ring up, basically. So. Fuel hosing's on.
So the tank is on.
We will throw in a couple of litres just to make sure the bloody pump doesn't leak. Covered myself in fuel, Dav. Nothing dripping out the bottom. Let's just put Right, so when we put the power on, we should hear the pump prime.
Yep.
I'm not crapping my pants at all, Dav. Should hear the pump prime.
There we go.
One more time, just for shits and giggles.
Woohoo!
Right, So we haven't got coolant in it, but all I want to do at the minute is just make sure she coughs and splutters. So let's send it, shall we?
Yeah.
Ready? Moment of truth, Dabbler.
Go on in.
She's alive! She's smoky.
Very smoky.
I think that is just all the crap.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put some water in it, and then we'll let her go for a heat cycle, I think. But
Days.
sweet. Right, 2 minutes, we'll be back. So we're not allowed to use coolant in race bikes because it contaminates the track. So this is just deionized water. So again, listen for the tinkle tinkle of fluids reaching the floor. The plugs are tight. 2. That one's in tight because I did those 2, because that's everything this side.
Yeah.
Still don't like how that sits. It's like they make silicone hoses too short.
Yeah.
Right? So you want that nice even band both sides, but you want it over the ridge of the pipe, if that makes sense. So the end of the pipe's got a ridge.
Yeah.
And here, it's like I want the rad back that way. Because as I'm trying to do the clamp up, it's slipping off. So I like to get can you see there, look, the ridge on the pipe?
Yeah.
So what you don't want to do is pinch it on the ridge.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything. If it slips, it'll all come off. You need to clamp it past the swaging of the pipe.
Sure.
But the problem is, when the hose is too short.
Yeah, it's getting it on there.
Yeah. So you kind of want it like that. Because if you think oil will have off your bike, have you off a bike, if you blow a coolant hose, mate, you are off. Even though it's water, you're off. So
again, it's attention to detail, isn't it, with this?
Yeah. You know, like that now. So that's the oil pressure, and we'll literally just P-clamp that there.
Yeah.
We'll sort out the gear linkage, but we obviously need to keep that out of the way of
stay away
here.
from the chain.
Yeah. So I might P-clamp it there, to be fair, and then link it. Like, I might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my gear linkage is there. You can get relocation kits for these to get them up underneath. And if you are building one of these, I would recommend you do. For the time being, it can stay here at the minute. It's more important to get the bloody thing running and sorted.
Yeah.
So, right, before I forget, that one's tight. That one's tight. There is nothing underneath. There's no heat exchanger. That one is tight.
The oil has gone right up now on that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So, right, mate. Let us. Coolant temp for a minute, see what it does. trick is, obviously hot water's got to come around the thermostat and go round and round and round. So just touch that one, and see when you start to get some warmth travel through. Right, so that got to 90 and I can't feel it, so I think I have got an airlock dabbler. So what we'll do is we'll let that cool down, because if I pull that off now, and I've got cold coolant and hot coolant, and it's not, I've got an airlock at the top of the head, it'll just blow it all out. So we'll leave it a second, but what should have happened there is, about 84 to 86 degrees, I should have felt these radiator hoses get warm. If you put your hand on there, look, side of redstone cold. So I've got an airlock somewhere, probably sat behind a thermostat. And then what happens is, because there's no hot water hitting the thermostat doesn't open. So the top of the head gets super hot, but none of your other cooling system is. So the best thing to do now is just let it bring a little bit of temperature out. Yeah. Let it bring a bit of temperature out. Hopefully the water pump running has pushed some coolant around it, and we'll keep topping it up and see what it does.
Got a special one in today. We've just finished running it in, and we're going to be starting mapping soon. That might give you a clue to whose it is.